What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City transfer video, the final transfer video of what has been a very hectic Manchester City transfer window here in the January winter transfer window, which coincidentally didn't end until the beginning of February. Maybe they need to think about renaming the window. Anyway, let's crack on with the video. So don't forget, do leave a thumbs up on the video, that would be much appreciated. We're going to aim for 200 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below, scoring Manchester City's transfer activity out of 10. What are you rating Manchester City's transfer window? Do let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Kitbag, where you guys can go and cop the Manchester City home shirt for the season for less than £40. Links and details there in the description. They've got plenty of other offers involving Manchester City and lots of other football teams and other sports teams that you guys love to follow. So do go and check them out. If you do go and check them out, please make sure you use my link in the description, as that does help to support the future content created here on my channel. It will take you to the Kitbag website. So, rated Man City's transfer window. Let's have a look first at the incomings, and Manchester City spending just over £180 million in this window. It's been Manchester City's most expensive January transfer window ever, and as far as I'm aware, I think this is Manchester City's second most expensive transfer window ever, which has suggested to me just how desperate Manchester City have been to do some business. Neglecting a couple of summer transfer windows, both from 2023 and 2024, has led to Manchester City having a desire to do some business in this window. And I'm just calling this phase one of the transition, because there's plenty more business that needs to be done in the summer. And I don't think Man City's transition will be completed by the summer. I think this will go into next winter transfer window and into the summer after as well. So we are looking here very much at a transitional period for Manchester City as they look to bring that average age of the squad down and replacing the old spine with a new spine. So we kicked off this window by bringing in Abdukodir Khusanov from AC Milan, a centre-back, 20 years old, from Uzbekistan, the first ever player from Uzbekistan to feature in the Premier League. He signed for £33 million, and he's going to be one to watch for the future. Already made his Manchester City debut. I'm expecting to see him again this weekend for Manchester City's game against Leyton Orient in the FA Cup. Didn't get off to the best of starts, making that mistake by leading to the first Chelsea goal inside the first 5 minutes of his debut. Got a yellow card in them first 5 minutes as well, but he recovered really well, showed really good mental attitude. He's mentally strong, he's good to go, and I'm sure in the next couple of years we'll be speaking about just how good of a player Abdukodir Khusanov will be. We've also signed another player just soon after Khusanov was Vitor Reis from Palmeiras. Signed him for just under £30 million, £29.6 million. He's a 19-year-old centre-back from Brazil. Still waiting for him to make his debut, and that debut could well come this weekend with Manchester City's game against Leyton Orient in the FA Cup 4th round. We then spent big money bringing in Omar Marmoush, signing him from Eintracht Frankfurt for £63.2 million, including all of the bonuses in that deal. The upfront fee was just under £60 million. He's a 25-year-old forward. He is Manchester City's contingency should Erling Haaland pick up an injury, but he can also play alongside Erling Haaland, as we've already seen, and featured a couple of times for Manchester City, and described by Chicky as Manchester City's keen, most interested player that we wanted, described as the best player in the Bundesliga. Very highly rated Egyptian forward brought in, and I'm sure he's going to be a cracking signing. Now, we also brought in another player, one to watch for the future, Juma Bah, the 18-year-old centre-back from Sierra Leone. It did look like earlier in the window he was going to join Inter Milan. That didn't happen. Interest was coming in from Turkey, but Manchester City managed to make it happen. Brought in from AIK Freetong in Sierra Leone and Real Valladolid via a potential lawsuit who aren't happy about his release clause being met, and I do believe the fees are around £11 million all in, and Manchester City have taken their opportunity with their improved relations with AC Milan from the signing of Abdukodir Khusanov to send Juma Bah to AC Milan on loan for the rest of the season. So we will see how he gets on, and I will speak more about Juma Bah when I get round to doing my Manchester City loan reports, which will be done during the March international break, and then we'll see what next season holds for him. Will he be around the City first team squad? Will he be loaned to another team? Will he be sent to a CFG team? We'll have to wait and see. It all depends on how he does with AC Milan, who have done a brilliant job with Khusanov, and we'll see how they do with Juma Bah as well. The next player that we brought in was Christian McFarlane. This was all in the pipeline and sorted back in 2024, but was made official by Manchester City's sister club of the CFG, New York City Football Club. He's an 18-year-old English left-back. Signs for an undisclosed fee. I can't imagine there's a big fee involved in this. I can't imagine it's maybe at most more than a few £1,000,000, and I suspect we'll be seeing McFarlane around the Manchester City academy, but is a player that signs for Manchester City, and the final player right on the clock of 11 p.m. GMT, transfer deadline day, as the window slammed shut. Manchester City announced their final signing of the window. Nico Gonzalez, brought in from FC Porto, the 23-year-old Spanish central midfielder who can also play in defensive midfield, signs for £50 million. All new signings for the first team, so that's Gonzalez, Marmoush, Reis and Khusanov, all signed for a 4.5-year contract. And I also love that all of our players have got a H pronunciation at the start of their last name, so Khusanov, Reis and Gonzalez. Maybe we need to alternate Omar Marmoush's name and call him Omar Marmoush instead, to fit in with the trend that Manchester City have had during this window. So total spend just over £180 million, including all of the bonuses at this moment in time. 6 players added, average age of the squad brought down, and the transition has started with phase 1 complete. A solid window in my opinion for Manchester City. We do also have Claudio Echeverri joining the first team later in this month from River Plate once the under-20 Copa America is done, and Argentina have either got to the final and won it or finished runners-up, or they've gone out of the competition. He was a signing done in 2024, so he doesn't count in this window. He's just going to be linking up with the City squad, so he's expected to stay around the City first team squad. So we'll see if he does end up making his Manchester City debut at some point this season. Now, moving on to the outs, the biggest transfer for Man City in the outs was, of course, captain Kyle Walker leaving the club on loan to AC Milan with a purchase option of €5 million to make that permanent in the summer if AC Milan do want to take that up. I do feel like we've not replaced Kyle Walker and we're a fullback short. I would have loved for us to have got Andrea Cambiasso over the line from Juventus that we've been heavily linked with during this window, but Manchester City seem happy to wait until the summer to get that sorted instead. So an agreement can be made between now and the summer, though, to make that happen. There is no rush. I do believe, though, if Cambiasso had signed for City, this would have been an 11 out of 10 window for Manchester City, but as it is, it isn't an 11 out of 10 window, and I will score it at the end of this video. In terms of the other outs, Issa Kabore had his loan spell in Portugal cancelled, and he's gone to Germany and joined Werder Bremen on loan until the end of the season. Joshua Wilson-Esperon's been around the City first team squad for the first half of the season. He's going to be spending the second half of the season out on loan at Stoke City. Joel Ndala had his loan spell on transfer deadline day ended with PSV, and he joined Nottingham Forest on loan, who have got an option to buy for £4 million, and if that is made permanent in the summer, then City have included a 20% sell-on fee as well. Jacob Wright was the last transfer to be sorted in this window, with him joining Norwich City on loan rather than Swansea City on loan. It was thought it was going to be a £4 million obligation to buy from Swansea City, but as that deal collapsed, it's now an option to buy with him signing for Norwich City, but City, if that option is taken up, will get an extra £1 million, so that's set at £5 million rather than £4 million, but no word on any buybacks or sell-on fees. We did see other academy players leave during this window as well, with Will Dixon signing for Motherwell up in Scotland on loan until the end of the season. Obviously, we've already spoken about Juma Bah. He's been sent out on loan until the end of the season to RC Lens in France. and we saw Thomas Galvez on loan to SC Cambuur over in the Netherlands for the rest of the season. He was on loan with Lask in Austria, but that was cancelled in this window and he was sent on loan to the Netherlands instead. So wishing the best of luck to Thomas and the best of luck to all our players who left Manchester City, all of which have been sent out on loan, with some of them having purchase options. Now, the final bit of business that City did in this window came in the contract, as we saw Erling Haaland put pen to paper on a whopping 9.5-year contract. Outstanding work. So now the focus has to be on other contracts and making sure we're tying down the very best of our academy talents, including Nico O'Reilly, linked with a move to Chelsea on transfer deadline day. Get him on a new long-term deal. James McAtee contract up next summer, June of 2026. Get him on a new long-term deal as well. That has to be City's priority now as we head towards the summer transfer window here from the winter transfer window, with that transfer window formally opening on July 1st. But Man City will be very active probably from the end of May into early June of that summer transfer window. So this window, unusual window. Manchester City normally not very active at all in January. Here we are bringing in 6 new players. What a window, and what a pleasure it was, guys, for me to cover. Incredible numbers pulled in across my YouTube and social media pages during this window. It means the world to me, and we'll be doing it all again in the summer. Get the date in the diaries. Daily Manchester City transfer updates. They will be returning from June 1st 2025 for phase 2 of the transition for the summer transfer window. Last thing for me to do, rating this transfer window. I think it's been a solid window. Could have been an 11 out of 10 if Cambiasso had been brought in. So for me, we've still got a little hole to fill in fullback in terms of that right-hand side. I have my doubts about Rico Lewis and Mateus Nunes moving forward for the remainder of this season. I would have liked to have seen Cambiasso come in because he can play on the right-hand side, can help cover on the left-hand side, and gives us more extra legs in midfield as well. A very versatile player. Pep Guardiola's dream. Would have been an 11 out of 10 if Cambiasso was also brought in. So for me, a real good solid window, some solid additions, lots of money spent, and it's been a real roller coaster ride. I'm scoring Man City's transfer window an 8 out of 10. So there we go, my final Manchester City transfer video of this winter January transfer window. Please do leave a thumbs up. 200 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, scoring Manchester City's transfer window out of 10. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Plenty more City transfer videos coming throughout the remainder of this season. Also got regular City content for you guys to enjoy, so do come and check that out. That would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Kitbag. Remember, where you can go and cop the Manchester City home shirt for this season for less than £40. Links and details, they are in the description. And a big thank you to Kitbag for sponsoring this video, and JSGC's daily transfer content now done and dusted. Thank you everybody for sticking around and tuning in, and I'll see you for daily Manchester City transfer updates returning from June 1st. So I've been JSGC. Thank you for watching. Peace. Ciao for now.